Hello everybody. Today's topic is something that I'm really starting to get interested in, and it's really important. It is our body's ability to naturally detoxify. We need to detoxify toxins and hormones out of our body to create optimal wellness. Hormones, why do I say hormones? Because hormones, they need to be in balance. And it's natural to detoxify hormones as you're creating other hormones to keep it in balance. And if you're not getting rid of certain hormones, you're going to create imbalances which create crazy. That's why I say hormones, but I'm going to start with toxins, and I will address hormones towards the end. So if you're not interested in that part, you can stop the video. So toxins. Scientists say we are exposed to almost like over 700 toxins each day. That's scary. I don't want those toxins. I want to get rid of them. So how do I get rid of them? How do I keep my detoxification optimal? There's lots of steps, but let me start with number one. You have to be in a parasympathetic state for detoxification to happen, to occur. That has to be there. If it's not, none of the other steps matter. Parasympathetic means low stress. You guys, excuse me, we have to take better care of ourselves. We have to slow down. We have to take baths. We have to read books. We have to sleep more. Detoxification happens when we sleep, but we're not sleeping as much. You guys, we've got to get in parasympathetic more often. Okay, the other thing about parasympathetic is the only way we're going to digest our food is if we're in parasympathetic state. Those are two very important things, detoxification and digestion. They both need parasympathetic to work properly. So please work on self-care. I'm continuously working on it. It's probably one of the hardest things for me, myself. I am an anxious worrier. So I'm in it with you. I'm in it with you. Okay, number two, we have to hydrate. Our body's made up with over 70% of water, and we need good hydration to eliminate toxins. We need good hydration for everything, but we need to get rid of those toxins. We need to have a pathway. You need to hydrate. Get your water and drink water. You guys, drink water. Figure out a way. Water, not sparkling water, water. Please. Okay. I'm going to keep moving. I could go on a tangent. Number three, we have to have optimal digestion. If we are bloated, if we have leaky gut, if we've got issues going on, candida, if we've got stuff going on in our gut, it's creating inflammation. All of that is gonna alter our detoxification pathways. It's going to close them. We need our detoxification pathways open, and that means optimal digestion. If you're having trouble, if you're constipated, if you're having a lot of pain, something's off and that needs to be addressed. Talk to me if you need to, because you need optimal digestion. It could be that you're not in parasympathetic. That could be part of it, but optimal digestion. Blood sugar balance is another one. If you're eating lots of sugar, you're creating inflammation in your body, which is creating havoc on everything. You are not going to detoxify properly. And then I wanted to address, so digestion is so important, but also along that pathway, your liver is your main detox organ, also your gallbladder. If your liver and gallbladder are clogged up, if they're clogged up from junky processed food, from not hydrating enough, from not sleeping, lots of stress, if they are clogged up, they are not going to detoxify. Your liver is not going to detoxify the toxins or the hormones properly. What do I mean by that? Why is it clogged up? Well, when you're eating junky food, you're getting really bad fats in your body. Those bad fats are not getting, they're clogging up because you have something called bile. Bile is necessary to break down fats. If your bile, so bile is necessary, your bile is affected by bad fats, it's affected by stress, it gets sticky and clunky and chunky. And if it is not moving freely through your gallbladder or your liver, it's gonna cause just congestion. And then everything, all your detoxification pathways are closed down. How do you get healthy bile? parasympathetic state, sleep, hydrate, and eat. It all comes back. All of this comes back to a whole foods, real foods, you know, the diet I talk about, nutrient-dense diet, watching your toxins by buying organic, pasture-raised, grass-fed meats, wild-caught fish. You know, what I always talk about, decreasing your inflammatory foods like dairy, gluten, and grains. Some of them need to be eliminated. We all respond differently, and I hate to tell you that. I hate to, but you've got to. If you want optimal wellness and you want to decrease your risk of cancers and scary things out there, scary diseases, you've got to eliminate these toxins. But the only way to do it is have your detoxification pathways open. Okay, so those have to be working optimally to open up those detoxification pathways. Believe me, there are so many other things, but I'm trying to make sense so you just get the gist that this is the starting point. You've got to take care of these things first to keep those open. Okay, so you know it all comes back to the kind of food you're eating, right? We've got to work on that. You want optimal detoxing. Now, I said I wanted to talk about estrogen. So something that a lot of women in their upper 30s, 40s, and early 50s struggle with is losing weight. A lot of times they're perimenopausal. They have weight around their abdominals and their hips, and they're just frustrated because they're trying everything. They think they're doing everything, and they're like, why am I not losing weight? Why am I irritable? Why am I moody? Low sex drive, my cycles could be way off. Fatigue, headaches, just everything. It could be that you are not detoxifying the hormone estrogen well, and that is leading to estrogen dominance. If you have estrogen dominance, your hormones are not in balance, and it creates crazy. That's the best way I can say it. You have to have all these elimination pathways open to help get rid of estrogen. If your estrogen is getting recycled, that's so bad, right? It's creating this imbalance. So how to get estrogen out of your body? One, it goes back to your diet. What's at the end of your fork? A lot of vegetables actually help, as well as fiber. I'm going to suggest up to about 40 grams of fiber a day, more from vegetables, but you also can get it from some from fruit. But some of the vegetables that are great for getting rid of, naturally getting rid of estrogen from your body are things like cabbage and kale and broccoli. Those are great natural ways to help get rid of estrogen. Now, some of those are really hard raw. I struggle with them raw, so I either have to ferment them, or I like to take like broccoli and a couple other green vegetables, not necessarily kale and cabbage, but broccoli, green beans sometimes. I don't really do beans that much, but I take a couple things and I'll throw them in and cook them down and pulverize it, make it like a soup. And then I add some spices and kind of have a soup. I do that in the fall and the winter a lot. And that's one way I can easily get broccoli, and I digest it really well. But cabbage and kale, I put into my coleslaws, where I use apple cider vinegar, which I was gonna also mention is amazing for helping your bile. That bile that gets clogged up in your gallbladder and your liver. Apple cider vinegar is just amazing, you guys. So I try to get at least 1 to 2 teaspoons or tablespoons. I have a lot. I always have it in my homemade salad dressings, but I will take those veggies, cabbage and kale especially, and other veggies, put them in, make a coleslaw, and I use olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and apple cider vinegar as my dressing, and I let it sit overnight and kind of soften those vegetables. And I do some other things. I squeeze lime in there, I put some sea salt in there, and I can digest that really, really well. But those are great vegetables to bind to estrogen to help eliminate it. But you can't eliminate estrogen unless all the other things are working properly, you guys. Remember, it goes back to parasympathetic state. We've got to be in parasympathetic state for all of this detoxification to work. And I want to say one more thing, and then I better stop because I'm probably getting overwhelming. But there's a lot of detox programs out there, like 10-day detox and this and that. And some of them are very extreme. You guys, they're dangerous. Please, if your neighbor's doing something that's really extreme like that, please do not. A 10-day detox fast or cleanse or something, no, no. If you know some of the things I just talked about are not working well for you or optimally for you, do not take part in a detox or a cleanse that's really serious. It can hurt you. Biochemically, you can mess some things up. There have been people that have ended up in the hospital from detoxing, and there have been some people who have actually died from doing detoxes that were everyone reacts differently. That's the scary thing. We don't know how. Do not take part until you address these foundations first. For 1 to 2 months where you are really diving in and trying to get better at all this stuff. Then if you're still feeling like junk and you're like, what is going on? Consult your doctor, consult someone like me, a nutritional therapy practitioner, and we can see where you're at to see if you are ready to do a modified detox, like if you need more help than just the natural ways. Please be careful, be smart, be smart. But first and foremost, you have the control. You can make these changes. You guys, it all comes back to what's at the end of your fork, doesn't it? It really does. You can do this, natural detoxification. Let's get rid of those toxins. And in the first place, let's try to limit our exposure. Limit your exposure as much as possible by buying products that are really responsible and staying away from environments that are really, really bad. And like in Seattle recently, we had a whole bunch of smoke from forest fires, and they tell you to stay inside. Guess what? You should stay inside because those are toxins in the air. We don't want that in our body because we have to detoxify them. And if your body is not doing well with detoxifying, you're just adding more toxins, recycling more toxins, and creating more havoc in your body. Okay. You guys, I care so much. I love you all. Man, I'm so excited. There's so many topics, and I've got to start organizing them better into 1 week of let's just dive into digestion for a week and blood sugar for a week. And I see that my business going that way, so I'm not all over the place. But I hope these are helpful. Please comment below. Please let me know if you've ever thought about detoxing and what are some of the areas that you need to improve on. And hey, reach out to me if you need any help, okay? I'm not an expert in detox. I'm interested in it, but I can maybe point you in some of the right directions, okay? All right, you guys, take care. Sorry for the long video. All right, bye-bye.